Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Carrie Smoot from the Village Spa.
And I'm David Nellums, the Executive Director of the Don Ryan Center.
And today we are here in studio, thank goodness, because it's pretty chilly outside, as we were just talking about.
Welcome to South Carolina.
Yeah, really. So today we're in studios here at WHHI, and our first guest is Mr. Tom Cruz, and he is representing the town of Hilton Head today, and he's here to talk about the Land Management Ordinance, which has been a pretty important task and has been a long task, apparently.
3-year task.
Yeah, it's pretty big
Almost
deal.
done. And Carrie, then we have Robin Townsend, the chair from DeFusky Tourism. Robin's going to tell us why you should come and get lost on DeFusky Island.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Miss Kelly Presnell. She is the Director of PR and Marketing for Hilton Head Regional. So she's here to talk about the new Bluffton campus, which is a humongous building and has all kinds of great news.
Everything.
Literally,
Huge
they cover
building.
everything under one roof. So she's here to talk about that. So make sure that you come right back for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where the town of Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
843 TV, where DeFusky Island comes to speak.
843 TV, where the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We are here today with Mr. Tom Cruz. He is the chairman of the LMO Rewrite Committee. How are you this morning?
I'm just fine, thank you.
So let's start with explaining to everybody what LMO is.
LMO, I know a lot of people just hear that reference, but it stands for Land Management Ordinance. It's the regulatory part of how we control and incentivize what happens on the lands of the municipality of Hilton Head Island. It includes all of the zoning, it includes all of the design standards, natural resources, non-conforming uses, disaster mitigation. Pretty much everything that happens on the land in Hilton Head Island falls under the ordinance.
So it basically just encapsulates everything that's growing, being refurbished, renovated, and preserved all in one, kind of, right?
And it seeks to protect the core values and the things that we want to preserve about the island's lifestyle.
Which is very important.
Yes, it is.
I think that's near and dear to everybody's heart on the island.
That's right. What were the primary goals of the LMO Rewrite Project?
Well, they're very specific. The town council, and I have to refer to my list here so that I'm clear. The town council chartered the LMO Rewrite Committee to do several things. Develop an improved application review and permitting process, develop a new zoning scheme, develop specific design standards for selected zoning districts, develop a process to allow more administrative waivers, evaluate the use of master plans for zoning purposes. Those master plans are usually the gated community plans that were adopted. Devise framework to facilitate improvement of existing non-conforming sites, reduce non-conformities. Identify and prioritize revitalization and investment zones, a key part of what's going on in this community. And lastly, the charter was later expanded to include Ward 1 issues related to subdivision of property, setback, and buffer requirements. And those were the requests from town council to this committee.
That's great. That's a lot of information. So we'll see if you can recall this one. What are the top 3 changes that the public will notice with the new LMO?
Well, and that's a good question because the LMO was written originally shortly after the town was created, nearly 30 years ago. I helped participate in that. And it's a very typical ordinance language document that had a lot of changes, and it was difficult. So more user-friendly was one of the goals, easier to read and understand, and that has been a big change. And I think anyone that has ever read the LMO that looks at it, the new one, will recognize that. Improved and accelerated review process. There were a lot of stumbling blocks that took a long time in the original, and we've vastly improved that process. and the introduction of some new zoning districts. The Caligny Resort District that we're currently discussing now, Sea Pine Circle District that we're in right here, and Main Street District as an example. And there's some other smaller districts that are new.
New
Those
and
would be the
improved.
biggest.
Okay, we've got this good.
Well, Tom, it sounds like this is a very broad, wide-ranging, sometimes a complex issue. What's the process for getting it all adopted? How does that work?
Well,
That's the easy part?
sure, that's easy. The committee has been meeting for nearly 3 years, sometimes on a weekly basis, and we are at the tail end of that process. We're wrapping up the review of the draft components. There's a consultant that we've hired that is writing the actual legal language, and the town staff's legal department reviews that. We have to defend anything that's a law. And so we are at the kind of the end of that process of reviewing the final segments and draft documents. The last thing that the committee will do, that we're about to do, is to review all of the chapters from the consultant. Okay. And then my job as the chairman is to present what the committee will finally support as a draft document to first the Planning Commission and then the Town Council, and it goes through some readings. And that first meeting, public presentation to the Planning Commission will be December the 4th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Open to the public.
Good.
I don't think that we'll try to wade through all 10 chapters in a presentation.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, the fact that Tom Cruise is going to be there on the 4th of December, that should bring the public out, right?
Sure.
Well, speaking of the public, for those who are interested and want to get involved, where do they need to go to find more information?
Well, probably the best thing that I would encourage most people is the website that the consultant set up, and it is new code hiltonheadisland.com.
Okay.
Should be easy to remember. And if you go in there, you'll be able to see the approved draft chapters of the new LMO. It tries to have some language that explains what we're doing. And the other part of it is we have some more meetings with the committee. I think the next committee meeting is next Wednesday, which is the 20th at 8:30 at Town Hall. They're all open to the public. And then when we present to the Planning Commission in December and then Town Council in January, which have not been set. But those would be great.
But to find
opportunities.
information, all that information is going to be on that new website,
I think
right?
the website's probably the easiest and best place.
So go and try to answer a lot of your questions on that first, and then take some notes, and then come to the meeting on December 4th.
December 4th will be the presentation of the Planning Commission, and the commissioners will ask questions, and the public will be able to
Hear them.
weigh in.
Sounds like a plan. And again, just one more time for the website for anyone that wants to be involved, please go to www.newcodehiltonheadisland.com. And thank you again for being with us. And make sure that you come right back for more 843 TV.